Hey there, it's Stephen Hughes yet again on the YouTube podcast. I have another guest with me today, and I think it's really interesting. I think this is a much needed service, especially within the senior space, or just, gosh, when I think about a lot of transactions with title companies and such, this sort of service does come up. It was very popular during a certain unmentionable disease in 2020, but is still a much needed service. So, as you guys know, my guest is going to introduce themselves and tell us what their business is and what they do. So, go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself and who you are.
Hi, my name is Frances. My last name is Davis. I am a professional mobile notary signing agent. I have a background in escrow. I was an escrow officer for over 25 years. And now all I do is just loan signings. So I can do any type of a loan signing for real estate, as well as I have ventured into the market for the assisted living and our elderly community, and I want to be able to be of help to them because they can't always get out, so it's easier if I just come to them and get the documents that they need to have notarized, get them notarized for them, and I'm on my way. It makes things a lot simpler for them. Their family members don't need to order a transport to take them to the bank and then be rejected by the bank because they don't have an account at that particular bank. They can stay in the convenience of their own home, or, if they are in a retirement community or an assisted living, they can stay right there, and I can write to them, take care of everything for them.
You mentioned transportation, like trying to get them somewhere is really one of the bigger things because they might be immobile for a lot of different reasons or not have a car. Maybe they don't have a driver's license or they don't have family or help to transport them. One of the things I was thinking about when you were talking, because it comes up so much with a lot of our seniors, is they do not understand how to sign stuff on email. That's another side of it I have found.
It is it's a huge side, yes. I'm certified just to go directly to and get in-person signatures, and that is one of the reasons why, is because it is difficult. They have to understand how to work the computer, how to be able to get their signature to go in, how to get their camera to work and such, just to make the transaction work if you're doing a remote. Or if I'm just right in front of them, I can explain what we're signing and, to an extent, and, just tell them, I need you to sign this way. I need to see some valid ID from you to make sure that, you are that person. And I'm just verifying that the names are the correct names, and I'm notarizing that I witnessed that signature.
Yeah, yeah, thank you for that. I think one of the things people might say or ask with when it comes to notary and mobile notaries, they'll say, "Well, I can just go to the credit union or bank," right? You hear that a lot. It's one of the things because there was a point in time. I don't know if you have thoughts on this, where there was a lot of people online pushing a side hustle, being a mobile notary. But what's funny, whenever people will talk about that, they're not really talking about real estate or loan transactions at all. And they don't talk about the demographic reasoning behind it. They just think, oh, anybody will just hire a mobile notary. When that's not the case, I think it sounds like your value is for people who are homebound. They just really cannot get out. Would that be accurate to
That
state?
is that is very accurate. And then, not only for just the elderly community, but, if you've got a young family that have young children, do they wanna have to drag all of their kids to the credit union or to the title company or get a babysitter for all of them when I can make it so convenient for them? I can come directly to their home. Their children can remain playing while we are going over whatever documents need to be notarized in the convenience of their own home.
Yeah, and it really it's a needed service but it's also fairly simple. I mean, how do people normally get connected with you? Do the clients have to reach out to you or do you have partnerships with some of these lenders and title companies? How does that work for you?
I have been networking with some title companies, and I do have a couple of title companies that I do get continued business from. When I do a lot of networking, I go to different BNI groups and sub or visit with them. I am a member of the Davis Chamber of Commerce, and word of mouth. I do have a Google business profile as well as I have a website.
Tell us real quick the name of your business again, just so we have that connected there.
Absolutely. Professional mobile notary signing agent.
Okay. And so you can look that up on Google to see our Google business page and our website. I think what's really important with the demographics you're talking about is the networking with other professionals, right?
Yes.
It's becoming more and more prominent. And a lot of people in those situations just aren't going to go and sign for, like you said, the brief we talked about. What would you say, in addition to what we've talked about, are other services you provide or other things we haven't covered in terms of clientele you serve?
Really, I mean, the younger generation as well as the older generation, people that are not as mobile as others. Maybe they don't have a vehicle. Maybe somebody that is just looking for convenience. Those are, I mean, all demographics is what I can service.
Yeah. Yeah. So we mentioned your website, Google business page. How else are people best able to get in contact with you and find?
They can contact me directly and but either by email, text, or they can call me. My phone number is 801-725-9918.
Awesome. Anything else you'd like to add? I mean, it's a fairly short interview, but the thing is, it's a much needed service, and it really is a simple, guys. You call her up, she comes to wherever the client is, whether that's in their home or with a family member, or if it is an assisted living community of some sort, 55 plus community. She comes, you sign, she notarizes it. It's just that simple. I don't think there is much more to add other than it's a very needed service because people just cannot always get out. And people don't think about this until the very last minute about needing a notary.
And you are so right. I actually received a phone call on Sunday. Somebody that waited, at the very last minute, and then they call me. Are you a notary? Yes, I am a notary. I need something notarized. We're leaving town tomorrow. Is there any way that you can help me out today? Absolutely. I'm here. If somebody needs me 7 days a week, I am here. Even if I've got hours set on my Google Business Pro on my profile, but if it's after those hours, it's fine. If it's more convenient for you, just call me and we'll set it up. I've gone out at 11 o'clock at night and helped somebody.
Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty great story and fairly accurate. Because it's just that people don't think about it, and it's like, oh no, we have to have it notarized. And having a notary is just you have to do it on a lot of different documents. It's necessary. And I think I'll add this before we say bye and end the video. One thing I like about a professional notary, folks, compared to going again to just like your bank or credit union, those people there are notaries there, but I have had so many bad experiences where they miss things. They're not actually reading the document. It's because they're employees. They're employees who are paid a salary. So basically, it's the fly by night notary, I call it. They don't care. They do their stamp, they sign whatever. But you have to tell them everything. You have to be the expert on legal documents, which, in my opinion, the notary should actually be reading what they're notarizing. It's a big
Yes.
problem I see out of the banks and credit unions. I've had transactions before in real estate where we had to notarize stuff 3 separate times because these bank notaries couldn't get it right. Well, by the third time I sent them somewhere, they weren't my client. It was a client for a buyer's agent. But either way, it's ridiculous.
Yes.
And
And
sorry
I
for-
have a similar story to that as well, where they did go to their bank. They went to their bank twice. They went a third time. And then finally, that actual signing company called me and asked me if I could go over and get the document signed and notarized and sent back to them. And of course, I was able to, and I took care of it. And they didn't have to go back to the bank. I didn't have to go back to them to have anything re signed because it was done properly the first time.
Yeah, and this is one of those jobs where it has to be perfect, which is a hard thing to say. No one can be perfect, but in these cases, like the notary, it has to be perfect, or you got to redo all of it again.
Exactly.
So that's the attention to detail. Well, thanks. I really appreciate you coming on the channel. We already mentioned your website and your phone number, but tell us again your business name and website, just so we have it here at the end of the video.
Professional mobile notary signing agent. And my website is www.professionalmobilenotary.com.
Wonderful. Thanks so much for coming on the podcast. Of course, folks, if you have any thoughts or questions, please comment below. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And of course, her information will be in the description box. Till next time, we'll see you. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye bye.